Hello everyone, this is Tim again with managersresourcehandbook.com with today's quick tip. Today we'll be talking about employee development. So some of the realities of employee development are the fact that it's one of the most important responsibilities for you as a manager. Among other things, developing employees helps reduce turnover, it helps create engagement for the employees, and for you as a manager, it helps create and strengthen your overall team's capabilities for future activities. Developing employees isn't necessarily easy though, right? You've got constraints like time on your part and the employee's part. You've got budgetary constraints. And of course, there's the employee. Not all employees want to change and grow and do different things. Some of them just want to do the same thing day in, day out. Another challenge you'll run into as a manager is the fact that if you're like me, you have a large group of people that report into you. You've got a pretty big diverse group there, and you've got different levels of experience, different levels of skills, and how do you overcome that as a manager is sometimes challenging. And a mistake that a lot of managers make is the fact that they assume that training is simply how you develop people. You say, okay, Bob, you're going to go to this one class this year, and that's your development opportunity for the year. The reality of it is, employee development, good employee development, is a series of interwoven interactions and experiences that help shape the employee's skills, knowledge, and capabilities in the future to help them do their jobs better. So one way I like to look at this problem is to look at my employees in terms of tiers and levels. So in this little matrix you see here, if you look on the left side there, that's the tier level of the employee. The next column over, you have the expected skills that individual is going to have, their level of responsibility within the team, their theme for development for you as a manager, and then roughly their years of experience. And of course, years of experience depends on your business, your industry. These are just representative numbers for discussion purposes. So if we start at the bottom, the first tier here is your basic employees that have recently graduated college. They've got maybe 0 to 2 years experience. Really the skills that you're expecting them to learn and gain are basic tasks and support activities to help them gain strong fundamentals of the work that's got to be done in the future. Their level of responsibility is pretty much nothing. It's really helping support other employees to help this level 1 employee gain enough knowledge to be able to take on more challenging tasks in the future. So really their development theme is mastering the basics. If you look at the next level, tier 2, it's basically, of course, the tier 1 experience, right? Because they'll have gone through that in the past, and they'll be expected to know the fundamentals moving forward. Their responsibility increases to moderate. And one of the themes to look for in development planning is for them to build independence in what they do, so they can kind of operate on their own without a great deal of oversight. So these employees may have 3 to 5 years of experience. As we continue up, the third tier, again, gaining more experience and having increased expected skill, their responsibility is high. I like to look at these individuals in many cases as my workhorses. These are the employees that really pull a lot of weight within my teams. And their development for future roles should focus around leadership and leading other employees. So these employees will have, in my case, 5 to 10 years of experience. And as you go up to tier 4, again, this is really more and more experienced individuals. The expected skill to develop here is autonomy, the ability to work by themselves, make their own decisions, and basically consult you with anything that they might need periodically, but basically that's just a consultation basis. High responsibility, and really the target for their development should be knowledge outside of your current function. And then in the top tier, this is really your strategists, your sort of advisors, I'll call them. Significant amount of responsibility. Their theme for development, even though they've got plenty of experience, should be setting a vision and broad scope. So unique challenges, being able to take things and just run with them without your involvement. So obviously very, very experienced, 15 years or more, perhaps 20, 25, depending on your industry. So some of the things for development that I would look at, again, starting at the bottom, it's focusing on learning for new employees, decision points, understanding the critical elements of the work, aiming for exposure and with minimal responsibility. I like to bring these employees to a meeting, just let them be a fly on the wall, as we say. If you look at the next tier there, it's really a focus on execution and efficiency. Becoming that workhorse, as I mentioned. Development plans should emphasize independence and resourcefulness. The employees should know where to go and can work on their own. These employees will still need guidance. They're still relatively new, obviously, but they've learned enough to be able to be fairly self-sufficient. You get to the next tier, development plans really should focus on gaining more complex and working on more complex problems, and then guiding others, right? So this was the workhorse. Development plans should emphasize leadership skills, again, preparing for future roles. Do they want to go towards a management path or towards a specialist path? But either way, at some point in your career, leadership skills are required. You look at the next tier, and again, it's focusing on autonomy and guiding others. I'll often tell my employees, you own it, take it, run with it, and go. These employees are expected to overcome barriers and drive change for the benefit of the organization. And if you look at the last tier, again, as your most experienced employees, when I look at development plans, I try to focus them on setting a vision. I'll just basically tell them, you tell me what we should do, and I'll tell you if I agree or not. You come up with that vision, that plan, and I'll concur, most likely. Minimal oversight for these employees. And then, development planning should emphasize creating and implementing a vision, not just simply doing tasks. So there you have it. That's today's quick tip. Please visit us on the web at managersresourcehandbook.com for more tools, tips, and resources to help you manage teams more effectively. Thanks.